following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. I'm your host, Christine Lalonde, and this is the podcast where we uncover the truth about online dating. Now let's begin. Hey everybody, I'm Christine.
I'm Jaida.
And this is 50 Shades of Bullshit.
Yes, it is. Hi.
The world is burning down around me.
I know. Well, first of all, I want to start by saying I'm glad that you're safe.
I know
fine. The fires are, first, it's so disheartening and it's so sad to see. It's just crazy. So tell me, I know we were talking a little bit about it before the show, but tell us where you are and like what's happening.
I'm in Orange County right now. I had to come down here because I couldn't stay in Burbank because even though we're not being evacuated in Burbank right now, the building that I live in, my condo, couple of things happened. The tree in front of our building is just ripped down, so you can't get in and out that way. Mm-hmm. If you go to the front gate, we lost power. Okay. And so when we lost power, the winds were almost 100 miles an hour in Burbank on, what's today? Thursday, Tuesday night, Tuesday evening, and Tuesday, it was chaos. Okay. And, the one main fire in Palisades was going on, and then the one up at Altadena started, and that one started raging. And then we had another one that started that night up in Sylmar, which means that I was kind of like in between Sylmar and Altadena. Yeah. Then Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, another fire started called Woodley. And that one is just on the border of Burbank on the other side of where I am. So I'm kind of like in this center space. Yeah. We're really close to the Altadena, and our power went out and a tree went out in the front, and it did a couple of things for us. We can't see out of our windows to anywhere because I'm on the inside of the building. If you went out the gate, you couldn't get back in because one, with the power out, the buzzer wasn't working, and
electric.
Our key was not working in the front gate. So we had to hold the gate for each other as we would go in and out. Then the gate for our parking structure wasn't opened. And here 3 days later, we have all been, I sent an a message to our HOA president going, what the actual fuck? Why can't we get out of the garage? If I needed to get out, if it was emergency, if we had to evacuate, we're not getting out. Not one person came down to trip whatever it is to open that gate. We were stuck. Okay. And then after I was like bitching at him going, hey, let us out. They finally were like, oh, well, there's this thing that you can trip it. And I was like, you should have opened it the minute the power went out, because there were people who couldn't get in, and there was some of us who couldn't get out. Yeah. So when we got the power back early Wednesday morning, I woke up to an alarm from like the phone where they go beep, beep. It says evacuate your area. Well, we were just close enough my phone was close enough to the Glendale border for it to tell me to do that. So I was like, you know what? Peace out.
Yeah.
The smoke was going to get worse. The fires were not under control. I had a feeling, like, you know me and my gut feelings.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I could get trapped here again if we lose power. If
Yep.
they evacuate and I can't leave without my car, where am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to go somewhere? And it felt just really too claustrophobic and scary for
Mhm.
me. I
Mhm.
didn't wanna be there, and I didn't wanna stay with my daughter. I wanted to get out. So I was gonna try to go up to Tehachapi, where Alexa is, my oldest daughter, and the fire by Sylmar is affecting the 14, so I couldn't go that way.
Mm.
Ella wanted to go to her dad's. Ugh, that was a whole thing. And so I let her go to her dad's, and I just couldn't see myself staying there by myself, being afraid. Uh Dean offered me to go to his place in West Hollywood, and when he offered me that, I was like, "Wait, if something happens in Hollywood, Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Century City, any of those places, we're trapped,
Yeah.
and getting out would have been hell." So I was like, I'm just gonna go to Orange County. I have plenty of people down here I can come to. So I left for Orange County. And it's been a godsend because
Good.
for all the little fires that they've gotten out, um, the Sunset one
Mhm.
was really frightening.
Yeah.
And that was just a mile and a half up a mountain across from me.
Oh my gosh.
Um, the one, that's blazing right now in Altadena, is working its way closer and closer to Burbank, and it just ignited a new one just above that one.
Mm.
It's called Eaton Fire. It's now got the Creek Fire, and let me tell you, if any of those land on that Burbank mountain, I'm less than a mile from that Burbank mountain.
Oh my gosh.
And then now they've got this huge one, called the Kenneth Fire, which if it's not from blow off from where we are, then it's preset. Someone said it. So I'm not doing this. I
Yeah.
got out of town. I'm in Orange County. I even contemplated about just driving to Wyoming because I didn't make it to Wyoming this year. And it's only
Oh, wow.
16 hours to go home.
Oh, so you could have done that.
I almost did.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I almost did. And then I thought, well, I could be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'd have to come back on Sunday. And the thought of driving all that way by myself there and back
Yeah.
kind of freaked me out because I remembered PTSD from
Yeah.
the last time I drove home to Wyoming. It is a long ass fucking drive, and I just didn't feel like doing it. So the hard part is watching my friends' homes go
Yeah.
and, knowing that they're being displaced. I'm helping a little bit there are people reaching out, trying to find cleaners to clean their houses because they've evacuated without needing to. Other people in Burbank have
Yeah.
gotten out, but there are people who need a place to stay, so they're letting people stay there, and they needed their houses clean, so I gave them massive discounts to get their houses clean, just enough to pay the cleaner to go. It's just
It's
wild.
so disheartening, and I saw last night on the news because as we were talking about earlier, my brother lives in LA, so I've been very worried and checking in on him and all that good stuff. But they said
Mhm.
as of last night, there were over 1,000 like buildings, homes, schools, like
Okay.
completely burnt, damaged,
Yeah. Well,
gone.
they just made an announcement on our local
Oh
news. A lot
no.
of you are not seeing our local news.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
just getting, snippets of things here and there. We've got a 24/7 local news
yeah.
all the stations, and they just announced that 1,000 that they talked about is up to 4 or 5,000 now.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
5 that passed away in the Eaton fire, and they're saying they may have found 3 more. And then the Palisades is just blazing through Malibu and heading towards Agora, and they found somebody there. And I'll tell you, they're going to find more.
Yeah,
There's just they haven't had a chance to investigate. They haven't had a chance to go through any places yet, and it's just not good.
yeah,
Like
yeah. It's
I've cried.
devastating.
I've
It's
cried so
devastating.
much. I'm done. I
Well,
can't. I don't.
the interesting thing is they've put so much publicity on the celebrities and their homes that have been lost, but what about the people that are not celebrities that they may
Well,
not have had the fire insurance, or what does I mean, it's just so
this
sad.
this is
Yeah.
funny that you say that because we were just discussing this, and um, there's been a lot of information about this going around right
Yeah.
now. Is that 2 weeks ago?
Mm,
Um, it's not. It wasn't State Farm. Farmers Insurance is one of them.
mhm.
Um, dropped a bunch of
Oh.
homeowners in the area for their fire insurance. Now, let me tell you what's been happening. For the last 2 weeks, they've been advert on the news here, talking the weather about how we're about to get some of the highest winds ever, okay?
Mm,
And what happens in that last 2 weeks where they were announcing all of this about our high winds, we have had 0 rain. We have had
yeah.
just a teeny bit in November. We've had no rain. And because of that, the insurance companies dropped a bunch of people. Now, it
Mm,
is illegal for us to not it's required by law for us to have insurance, but
yeah.
then these insurance companies dropped. I think that should be illegal. I think that the insurance companies that did this should be held accountable
Yeah.
and to use all the money that they've paid for their previous insurance and use it to rebuild these people's homes. This is not okay.
Yeah.
It is not okay at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, I came up with a really good movie idea that centers around this though. And I
I
don't
bet
know,
you did.
I don't think I should talk about it because I haven't written it down completely and
Well, no, don't talk about it yet.
haven't registered, but I'll tell you about it later.
Okay. I know
Um,
Anastasia said she asked a great question as far as the homeless people.
so I was driving down the road to Eagle Rock. And for those of you who do not live here, Eagle Rock is between Burbank and Glendale, or kind of like between Glendale and Pasadena, excuse me. Glendale and Pasadena. And I had to drive there to take my daughter to her dad. And
Mm,
the photos I posted of the black billowing smoke
yep.
that I was heading into was freaking me out. And by the time I got my daughter to my ex, I was hysterical and in tears.
Oh, yeah.
And gotta understand that my ex in the last couple of weeks have been massive name calling to me, treating me really badly. And he offered for me to stay and hang out and be with all of them so I wouldn't have to be without my daughter.
Yeah.
And I just said, I can't stay where it's a hostile environment for me.
Mhm.
I will not be comfortable staying with you because you are hostile to me.
Yeah.
And it's not okay for me to be around you. And he's
Yeah.
like, oh, come on, put that aside. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go stay with friends who actually love and support and care for me. And yes, I'll be without my daughter, but at least she'll be with her dad and I won't have to worry too much. But as I'm driving through there, there's a big row of of tents where homeless
Mm,
people live,
mhm.
and I was freaking out about them.
Oh,
Now, they do go through those areas and help people move over to the shelters where they
mhm.
are sheltering to not the shelters for homeless people, but the shelters for evacuation.
Yeah.
So they can go over there. They will feed them. They will take care of them, but that's if they go. We can't
Mm,
control if people go or not.
yeah.
We can try our best, but some may die, unfortunately, and that's
So
scary.
sad. So
Phil
sad.
says, sending you and all those impacted prayers and loves. Charles said, happy you and yours will be safe. Misty is saying, is your daughter and those people going to be safe in that area? Yeah, they're about 7 or so miles south of the Eaton fire right now, and they're not being evacuated. The quality is not great. I did ask about them leaving to come down this way because my ex-husband's wife has family where I'm staying down here in Orange County, and I really wish they would just come down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? I can't force anybody to do anything. So, it's been challenging. It's been scary. It feels very apocalyptic. It feels end of the world. You all know how strong of an empath I am. The amount I have to over and over and over, I'm having to clean out my aura, close it with white light because the amount of stress,
Yeah.
pain, sorrow, all this stuff is surfacing, and I know it's not mine, I know it's everybody else's.
Yeah.
And it's really scary. It's really scary.
Well, I'm glad to
So
see your beautiful face, and I'm glad that you're safe and your
I
family is
am. Thank
safe
you.
and you're in a safe, peaceful,
Mm.
loving environment.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah,
are here, we're making it.
good.
So, well,
Well, good.
today
Yes.
we're talking about, and I'm sure some of you were like, "What are y'all talking about? Lie about your past? What?" Well, we're gonna give you some dating advice that might be off, may feel like off to you, but hear me out. And you, Jada, tell me as a dating coach
Yes.
this advice. This is advice I found from somewhere else, and
Okay.
I'm repeating it. I wish that I was smart enough to have gotten this advice years ago,
Yeah.
because I'm going to tell you now that if I think I'd used this advice years ago, that I
Mhm.
could have started my healing journey a lot sooner, because then I would have been moving to my era of men treating me better.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
And
let's hear it.
I see the logic of it. Y'all tell me what
Okay.
you think. All right. So, when you go to talk to somebody and you go on a date and you start divulging your past,
Mhm.
okay? A lot of people at the first date, me included, I've been there a million times. Always thought, I need to tell them everything up front. I need to talk about what's been done to me so they understand and treat me better. And I always thought this was the way. It is
No.
not.
Mm-mm.
And from experience, I can tell you it doesn't work. So let me tell you what this advice says, and it's pretty cool. Okay. This says, when you talk about your past, lie. In the beginning, you've never been cheated on, you've never been abused, you've never been lied to, attacked, never been did I say cheated?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. You're not a victim. Nothing negative. Nothing. Keep it vague. Keep it vague. What you do want to give him is, this is the thing. You don't want to divulge all of your vulnerabilities and hand it all on a silver platter to him. What you want to do is keep all that pain to yourself, and instead talk about how your ex-partners in a positive light. Okay. Exes used to buy you flowers, take you on dates, treat you like a queen, take you on trips, bought you a car, did this, did that, did all these wonderful things. Why? Why do you want to do that? Well, it's because you are subconsciously conditioning him. So, if you're like, "Oh, my partners, they've been wonderful. They've always treated me very well. I have very high standards for how I'm being treated," etc., etc. Men will want to okay, you want to make sure that your standards and expectations are up here. And what
Mhm.
you're doing is you're conditioning him to think that your standards and expectations are up here. You see what I mean? See how you
Mhm.
fake it till you make it
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
applies to the dating? Okay. Men will want to compete with your previous men in your life. They will want to one up them by treating you better, by giving you things in your life, bigger flowers, more flowers,
Mm.
better dates, better trips, a bigger car. Who the fuck knows how they want to treat you? But because you talk about, if you talk about how bad a guy has treated you, then you will not only make you look possibly foolish for accepting all of this shit. For
Hmm.
me, I didn't realize that it could have made me look foolish.
Mhm.
Okay. I get it. I came from a bad place. I'm always making excuses. Don't make excuses anymore. What you can do is by, um, let me see if I can read my own notes. You will attract predators, by the
Yeah,
way.
I would agree with
You
that.
will attract predators, people who will bottom feed with you, who will treat you shitty. You're going to change the narrative, because what it says to these guys is that the men in front of you will have no one to compete with. If
Mhm.
all of them treated you shitty, they have nothing to compete with. You have no standards. You have no expectations. You have no boundaries. You have no hopes. You have no, you, all these things. You have no deal breakers. Okay. So, you don't have them. You don't have them? What? My notes are shitty. Okay, because apparently other men walked all over you. You don't have standards. That's what my notes say. So be smart, play dumb, learn to keep things to yourself, because when you do that, it makes them know that you don't pull up with bullshit. You don't expect low standards, you expect high standards. And that will allow the trash to take themselves out and the good ones to stay to compete for your attention, your love, your everything, because they know you're a quality woman that every man sees as a quality woman, and they're going to go for it. And quite frankly, I changed my ways. Like, I went from, when I talk about my exes as total assholes on this show, and I'm honest about what my past has been like, because I want to help people understand that some of us can be related to, that y'all can I can relate to you, and that I'm here to show you that I survived, and that I can, if I can build a better life for myself, so can you. But here, what you want to do is you want to make sure that when you're going out there, and this is what I did, I started changing the narrative. I don't talk about my ex cheating on me. I don't talk about my ex beating the shit out of me. I don't talk about my ex who treated me like garbage and never brought me flowers. I don't say to a guy, "Oh my God, I've never had flowers before." They're never going to bring you flowers.
Yeah. I have a lot to say to that, but I wanna wait until you've gotten your whole
Okay. So
point.
Matt just says, I reckon most guys would ask why you're not still with those dudes if they treated you so well. LOL, just kidding. I can see it working for sure. Well, I thought about that, Matt. Well, if you want to be honest, I say, I tell people all the time, well, yeah, I'm not with them, because even though they were good to me and they were good guys, they weren't my guy.
Yep.
I didn't love them. There wasn't that, they were great guys and they were perfect for another perfect woman that was perfect for them, but I wasn't that person. I needed a little bit more passion, and maybe they weren't quite as passionate, but I want more passion in my life. Yeah, they treated me well, but we weren't on the same goal line. We had different goal plans for the next 5 years. So there are great reasons why you may have not been with somebody who was good. But Rebel
Rebel.
says, tell them I'm not with them because they sucked in bed. Yeah, they can be a great guy and not be the perfect lover for you. You never know. But again, even Matt says, I can see it working, because then I'm not a victim who's waiting for another predator to come along. I can appreciate a good, solid guy. I can appreciate, someone treating me well. What do you say, Jada?
Oh gosh, there's so much. Okay, so yes,
Hmm.
I agree. From a professional perspective as a matchmaker and coach, I definitely agree that it can work. But I also agree. I mean, you don't want to lie, right? You
I'm
don't want to.
lying.
You can embellish, but also past relationships, heavy stuff like that should absolutely never, ever, ever,
Wait.
ever, ever come up right away. I think
Mhm.
it's totally fine to say, oh my gosh, this person took me on trips. I got flowers. They were thoughtful. They could see something in a window and I could have mentioned I like that perfume and they bought it. Like, I think it's good to set the bar and to set the standard for that type of behavior so that you are treated that way.
Mhm.
But I don't know that it lying is good because when
Well,
you think about it, I mean, dating, it's all about mutual discovery, right? So you
mhm,
have to find
mhm,
out a lot about that person just as he has to find out about you. But you just have to be mindful of the oversharing. Setting the bar is
mhm,
great,
mhm,
um, right away. I think that's
mhm.
fantastic, but just be mindful of the bar setting that you're doing.
Well, this is the thing. I've had flowers,
Yeah.
I 1 or 2. I've had a handful of guys treat me well. I'm only talking about them. I'm not talking about the bullshit in the past because I wait long enough to where we do get to the place where we're start to discover more about each other. And if someone says, "Hey, why aren't you with all these great guys?" Well, not all of them have been perfect. Liar, liar, pants on
Pants
fire,
on
right?
fire.
Not all of the guys have been perfect, of course, but I have standards to where I walked away from that, and I don't put up with that anymore. I don't put up with that. So, but in my life, I think that if I had in the past had the opportunity to think this way,
Yeah.
I could have avoided some of the predators that I had.
Yeah, yeah. I think too, sometimes people are so excited and anxious when they go on a date and they meet somebody new.
Mhm,
Especially for someone that hasn't dated in a while, you tend to overshare right away,
mhm,
um, which does not set the tone for the best second, third, fourth date or whatever. It also,
right.
like you said, sets the tone for someone to completely manipulate you and exploit all of the stuff that you just shared with them. Um, but I, I just saw that.
Phil Phil just said, "I just ordered a Lamborghini for you, Christine." I'm down, Phil, I'm ready. I
Listen,
I
she may need a new
I'm
car
there.
getting out of those fires, Phil.
I'm all there. Well, Rebel
I
said,
Yeah,
"Let the new guy try to top that," which
yeah,
it
that's what
is
it's about.
right.
Yeah,
So, maybe little white lies, "Oh,
just
yeah."
embellishment. I think
Mhm, mhm.
embellishment is okay. Not a
Matt
lot.
says, "I've met a lot of women who do overshare
Yeah,
on the first date." Yeah, of course, it's no
yeah.
fun to overshare.
But you know
Um,
what I have to say too, to be
mhm,
fair,
mhm.
men do a lot of oversharing also.
Oh my
So I think
god.
men could use that to their advantage as well. I
Yes.
don't think it's just for women to do, but
No.
at the same time, you could come across those men that are embellishing, saying things that are not necessarily true. They could be abusers. They could have abused a woman. They could have emotionally manipulated someone, but they may not say that right away. So
Here
I think,
here's
yeah,
here's the thing. Let's think about it this way. I just thought of this, Jada. You tell me if
yeah,
I'm on the right track.
yeah.
Say you go on a first date with a guy
Mhm.
and he says, "Oh yeah, my ex-wife, she cheated on me." Um, and then before her, every girlfriend I ever had cheated on me before her. And then I've been dating for a couple of years and the last one cheated on me. How would you feel if you're sitting there at dinner with a guy that every woman's cheated on? With him, and to me, I'd be thinking, "Okay, what's going on? Is he a bad lover? Is he not attentive? Doesn't put her first? Does he not it does he is he a bad does he have a small wee wee? What is it?" I would be thinking a million
I would
things.
too.
I would think, "What is it that every woman does that?" Now,
Yeah.
it could also be that he's damaged. He came from
Mhm.
he doesn't have self-confidence.
Mhm.
It has no self-respect. Again, okay, but let's think about that. If he's then coming in confidently going, "Okay, I'm trying to change my life. All these other, Tulalulas cheated on me, but now I'm changing the narrative and I'm working on myself and he's doing all the work, but if he sits down and then still talks about these other people, I'm not going to think he's done the work. But if he
Mhm.
sits down and tells me, well, I've done work on me. I'm working really, I've done this and that. And he shows me that he has confidence and, you know what I mean? If he's going through the motions of working towards this and he
Yeah.
doesn't talk about these other things in his past that are irrelevant now, that's going to change my perspective of him and maybe get us another date. So I can see if he's done the work and trying hard. And what is he going to do? How is he going to treat me? That'll give me that
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't
I could
know.
see that. What did Rebel say? Oh, everyone cheated on him.
This is just a
This is
scenario.
it was a
This
scenario.
is just, it's just,
But yeah, no. I could totally see that because you would think that honestly, I would think maybe he's too passive or he's too, I know
hmm
somebody can
hmm
never be too nice, but sometimes
yes, they
there
can.
are men that are just, like you said, lack that confidence and they make
hmm
up for it in other ways, just being overly nice. So I
hmm
could see how a woman would walk right all over that because a lot of
Yeah.
women want a man with backbone. That's like simple.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no.
hmm
I
hmm
see what you're saying. I see what you're
hmm
saying.
hmm I also found this other thing,
Where
that
did you
I
find
wasn't.
that last article? Where was
Oh,
that last one?
on it was on Instagram.
Okay.
Matt says, "Do you find a lot of dudes that have been serial cheated on? 4 out of 5 women tell that tale on first dates for sure." I think, um, passive people can have
Mhm.
people walk on them. I
Mhm.
think people with low self-esteem who've come from a bad instance or like a place where they've been abused, they can be preyed on by people who will take advantage of them. I do think that there are people like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that every man's cheated on me. I've had a couple,
Yeah.
but to me, that was their own insecurity. They
Mhm.
needed, validation beyond me. There are just some people who are like that. But
Yeah.
if I had better self esteem at the time, and if I had made it very clear that I don't put up with bullshit, that person would have walked themselves out of my life because they would have
Mm.
known that I
So you
wasn't
don't put up
easily
with it.
manipulated.
Yeah. 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 I think too, it depends on the space you were in and at the time
Mhm. Mhm.
what you're going through mentally, because a
Mhm.
lot of times people can sense when there's that space of lack of confidence and they walk all over it and they prey on that
Mhm.
and that can cause people to cheat. I also believe that there are serial cheaters. There are people that cheat and
Mhm.
cheat and cheat and no matter what
They need they need
they
a
will.
lot.
Yeah.
They need a lot of self-validation. They need a
Yeah.
lot of, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, okay, there's this I found this other
Oh
video,
boy.
TikTok video from this guy, and he was trying to give advice to women for the guy's perspective, and
Okay.
I can kinda see it. The way he delivered it kinda bothered me. It
Oh, I
was,
know which one. This is the one that you showed me or
the
you sent.
man.
Yep.
Mhm. It was a man telling women how to behave
Yeah.
for men, and it kind of bothered me, but
It
part
definitely
of what
bothered
he
me.
said kinda rung true a little
Mhm.
bit. I can see it. He says, "How to get a man to be addicted to you. Make him work for your attention. Make him wonder about you." And he was saying, don't always be readily available. If a
Yep.
guy calls you at the last minute and says, "Hey, what are you doing? Let's hang out." Don't be free. Be
Yep.
busy.
Yep.
And then he'll want to ask you again. And if he doesn't, he wanted to take advantage of the situation and he wanted to just have sex. And we know this. So
Mhm.
again, the trash takes itself
Out.
out. Love
Mhm.
that trash out taking thing because I'm not good at it. Um,
It's different in your 20s to 30s than your 40s to 50s. I
it
would
w-
100 I think
it is.
absolutely. Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
Don't play hard to get, be hard to get. So it's not playing a game, it's just saying, "Hey, I have standards. No, I'm not sleeping
Yeah,
with you on the first date. No, I'm not going out with you tonight. You asked me at 10 o'clock what the fuck I'm doing, and you
I'm
want me
not
to come over
available.
and Netflix and chill. No, I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
If he really cares about you, then what he's going to do is
He's gonna chase you. He's gonna
he's
work
going to chase.
harder.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
that's what
And
it
if
should
he
be
doesn't,
about. Then
bye-bye.
he's not your person. It should be about the chase, but I think it should be about the chase for both parties. I
I
mean, that's
agree.
what dating is. You have to keep that sense of intrigue, and you
Mhm,
have to keep
mhm,
a little sense of mystery, which is gonna keep that person continuously coming back and coming back and coming back and wanting to spend time with you. But if you give in too easily,
mhm,
what's left?
mhm.
Why bother?
Well, it's kinda also like when, say I saw this post the other day. This girl said that she was at this work conference thing and she met a guy and they hit it off and it was amazing and perfect and everything in every way. They exchanged numbers. They have another conference coming up and she wanted to hang out with him, and he had said, "Hey, if that they'd agreed on this certain kind of music," and he said to her, "Yeah, if you hear of that concert again, you should let me know because I'd love to go too." And so she reached out and he wasn't available. And then she reached out again and again
Mhm.
and again and again. And where's his responses? They're not there because she's over
Being there.
coming in and hard and
She's
fast.
coming in hot. Like, calm down.
Mhm. And she's like, "What do I do?" I was like, "Shut up.
Just
Stop
stop.
texting.
Yeah.
Stop. It's not attractive to get an over inundation of texts or calls or messages." It's
No.
like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 Miss Needy much?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if you're not in a relationship, send the message,
Mhm,
wait for a reply. If the reply doesn't
mhm,
happen, then keep it moving. There's way too many people in this world to be focused on that one person that can mistreat you when there's a million and
mhm.
one other ones out there.
So, Rebel fields the calls coming in, and one of the calls is some serial cheaters do it for the thrill of getting caught. Yes, they do.
Yes,
Yes,
they
they do.
do.
Or the thrill of not getting caught.
That's
And
very
what's funny, Matt, is several other people, Matt
mhm.
said the dude was probably
Probably married.
married. And that is very true because a lot of people said, "Hey, he could have been married and now,
Yeah.
you're reaching out."
Yeah.
Um Also, the next thing he said was hold the power of the pause. Okay?
Mm.
Grasp the power of the pause. So when, say, a guy or a girl makes a bold statement, don't rush in to speak quickly. Pause. Give it a beat
Yeah.
and then look them in the eye, answer slowly and intentionally. And it makes you seem a little more fascinating,
Yeah.
a little more, like,
A little
what's
more
the word?
mystery. You're like, "Mm,
Mhm,
mhm,
mhm, mhm. And then what it does, it starts to pull them in, makes them curious, and
mhm."
curiosity is addictive.
Absolutely.
Curiosity killed the fucking cat 9 times.
It is absolutely. It's a little seductive too to just play,
It is.
just be the little flirty, like,
Mhm,
taking a
mhm.
minute. Yeah.
Now, the last thing this dude said kind of pissed me off in a little bit
Mhm.
way because I was like, "Stop telling me how to behave." That's a little bit of my,
That's
excuse
your
me?
pause. Yeah.
Um, but this is what he said, and I do get it, I do get it. Speak slowly and warm, unhurried. It's creating an aura of hypnoticness, he said. It kind of makes him want to lean in, and he'll be a little bit more intrigued if you, like, drop
Mm,
your voice, make it softer, make it a little bit more seductive. Now, I get that. I do get
yeah.
that. I
Mhm.
I think that when I'm on a date, I do kind of slow it down and,
Of
mm,
course.
you know,
Everyone's a little
become
flirty.
little
Yeah.
flirty and coy. I hate a man telling a woman to do that. I really do. But I do understand where he's coming from and why he's saying it, because it is more attractive than hearing a shrill or a ba 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 ba,
No.
a firing off. Take your
Take your
time, slow it
time.
down, become the woman of mystery. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Or the
Yeah.
man of mystery. Love a good man who takes control, picks up his glass and takes a drink and really thinks about it and gives you his 2 cents.
Mhm.
I don't know.
It's a little bit of, like, they're being very introspective and, like, really trying to think about how they should respond to you and how they should answer you. It's like they're taking the time to be intentional with what they're saying, and that is so
Mhm,
sexy when someone is like,
mhm.
"Oh, that's a great point, Jada," and they take their time to really soak it in. I'm like, "Oh,
Ah!
yes."
I know that shit is
Love
good.
it.
Whew,
Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, yeah. That
I
was
love
interesting when you sent it to me and I watched because I think you sent me did you send me, like,
that.
3 videos?
I did. I did.
Mhm. And
I don't
that one
remember
really
what.
stuck out to me because of that particular, um, comment. Because you and I had talked about it, and I did feel throughout a lot of that video, he was telling women how she should behave, which, I mean, that's neither here nor there. I don't like that either, but he did have some really, really good points.
The other one I sent you
So
was, this guy talking about building tension and flirting
mhm,
with intention, and I didn't like his video at all, and I didn't like the way that he was doing it at all, but I was sending it to you to go check out a man
please.
mansplaining a
Yeah,
woman how to flirt with a man. I was like,
yeah.
"Dude, you master the flirt to a woman, and then you can tell
And
me
then
the
talk to me.
master the flirt to the men." So I had this meeting the other day,
Mm-mm.
older Jewish man. I
Are we
had just had this
talking
meeting.
date meeting or business meeting?
It was a business meeting. I'm talking to this man about cooking for him.
Ah, okay.
Charles says most people don't even know what they want these days. True
That's
story,
very,
Charles. True
very true.
story.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting here. I'm sitting there. It was Tuesday. It was Tuesday after work. I met with this man to talk about a couple of days a week coming in after my job because he's not very far from where I'm working to
Mhm.
do some cooking for him in the evening, some food prep
Okay.
twice a week. Okay. So we're sitting there and I'm just smiling and I'm being,
Mhm.
kind,
Mhm.
nice, I'm very confident. I'm a very
You
confident.
don't say.
And I'm not even touching him. I'm
Mhm.
making eye contact, but I'm not making too much eye contact.
Mhm.
I don't wanna
Yeah.
be shady, but I wanna be sincere, and I'm just being normal. Okay, the man says, "Oh my god, you're a natural flirt." Now, the man's in his 70s, and I trust me, there is no flirtation here.
None at all.
None.
No.
No. Mm, mm, mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Nope, not a possibility in the least sense at all. But he's sitting there and he's talking to me and he says to me, "So, Christine, my God, you're a natural flirt." And I looked at him and I go, "I'm not flirting with you." I'm very deadpan, very straightforward. I say to him, "I'm not flirting with you.
Yeah, this is
I
not the flirt.
I'm being kind, I'm being nice, I'm being myself." He goes, "Girl, you were born a flirt." Irritating. I was
Yeah,
thinking, if this man thinks that my natural kindness, because a lot of people just aren't nice, especially
yeah,
in LA.
yeah,
So
that's
I
true.
can understand. And when a man is being nice to me, sometimes I have to go, is he being nice or is he
Like, why is
flirting
he
with
being so nice? Yeah.
me? Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm. So I get it. But you don't sit there and make a younger woman feel fucking uncomfortable by saying, "You're a natural flirt." I was thinking in my head, "Dude, if you think this is flirting, and if I actually flirted with you, you might have your old ass a heart attack."
You would have an aneurysm. And I mean, anybody that knows you, when Christine is flirting, you will absolutely know that
Go
she is
back
flirting.
and watch some of our old episodes.
Yes, you will know.
I
Pop.
flirt like a motherfucker in some of
Mhm.
those old episodes. I am like,
Yeah, yeah.
so
You
that's
are
so
like,
cute.
that's
I'm like,
very true.
trust me, I was just like, yeah, I can cook these for you. I can come up with these menus for you. I can do this. Da, da, da. And I was like, I'm not flirting.
Wait, so did you take the job? Did he hire you?
We're kind of talking about price right now, and his original price that he gave me is about $100 now less per time than
Mm,
what he originally said, because now all of a sudden he's on a budget
of
and he's on this
course.
or that. He's got to put money away for his kids. Dude, I don't give a fuck about you and your kids. If you haven't put money away by now, Mr. 70-year-old, I don't know what
Um,
to tell you.
bless his
So I'm
heart.
like, dude, don't nickel and dime my ass now because I was nice to you. So I
No.
guess I can't be nice to anybody anymore. I got to
Yes,
be
you
a total
can.
rager
Yes,
for
you
someone
can.
to respect my time, my money, and the fact that I'm not flirting.
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so 5 minutes left. What
Oh,
would you say, like, closing thoughts? What do you think? What do you think about being too open, sharing too much information? Any first date tricks, tips, anything so that it's successful? Lie,
I
don't cry.
agree with all matchmaker dating coaches. I
Yes,
didn't before, but I agree now on the keep the date short. The first one, keep it short.
absolutely, absolutely.
Make them
Mhm,
want more of you. Be
mhm.
intriguing, being mysterious, be coy, be fun, be flirty, be whatever, but then you gotta go.
You gotta go. I
You
when
got
I set people up for dates through my company, we do date,
Mhm,
coordination. It
mhm,
will be a coffee, it'll be a happy
mhm,
hour, like, it's
mhm,
literally so quick because we don't want it to be a dinner because it's too
mhm,
long and they may not
mhm,
like each other, and then it's embarrassing when you have to leave quickly. But I have had people that have had that happy hour or had that coffee, connected, had a
mhm,
great date, met the next day and had like a 4-hour date
mhm.
because they gave them just enough mystery
No.
that they were so intrigued and wanted to know
Mhm.
more. So yes, absolutely. Keep it short, keep it quick. It's a
I
meet and greet.
I don't like the coffee date. I think
Yeah.
every single coffee date I've ever done has made me friend zone them for some
Interesting.
reason or
Yeah.
another. Subconsciously, I friend zone them, because I recently had a coffee date and I totally friend zoned him. I
But do you
just
think that you automatically in your mind think because it's a coffee date that this is going to be your friend? Like
Yep,
mentally you've already got
yep.
that.
I
So
think
that's
so.
what it is.
Subconsciously, I'm
Yeah.
just done. If
You're
they
not into
take
it.
me out for happy hour
Yeah,
or just for
happy hours are good.
a quick drink is great. I
Yep.
don't really drink, so I can get a water, a soda,
You can get a
or
great
just
mocktail
one
that's, like, cute and fancy and
meal.
yeah,
Just have a drink. It's those that lead into a dinner because those are a
yeah,
little bit sexier. Those are a little
they're a
bit
little
more,
sexier.
you know, bring me a fucking flower. Jesus Christ, pick it from the street side before you walk in the door and
Before you
hand it
walk
to me.
in.
I don't give two fucks, but put a little effort in.
Put
I
some
see a
effort
lot
into
of
it.
low effort things these days, and it is not okay. Low
Well, but
effort is
people are getting 2025, one of the trends, people are getting much more, um the dates are getting much more interactive, so there could be
Mhm,
workout dates, it could be
mhm,
farmers market dates, it could be let's go to a concert date, like, things are getting so much more interactive this year,
mhm,
which is nice
mhm.
to see, but I think a first date should be super quick, happy hour, drink, great to meet you, nice to meet you, where are you from, make it to the point, and then schedule a second one if you want it.
We have some really incredible guests that are coming up in the next couple of
Yes,
weeks. I don't remember their names off the top of my head and what we're going to talk about, but I do know I did want to tell you guys that on the 30th, that is our second episode for the
bingo.
sexy bingo.
Yep.
So, we had the fuck it bucket list and turned it into a bingo game. We have our
Mhm.
second bingo follow-up on the 30th. So come back every week, But on the 30th,
That one will be
that
interesting.
episode was extremely popular, and we got more phone calls in
Yeah,
than we
we
have
did.
ever received, and Rebel couldn't even fucking keep up with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was so many calls. So I just want to tell you, at least 3 weeks in advance, our second episode of that is on the 30th, and in between there, we have some incredible guests coming back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Phil. I will
Thank you,
definitely
Sydney.
stay safe. To all of those in Los Angeles and around the communities of Los Angeles, my heart is here with all of you. We are supporting each other. Call me if you need me, because there's lots of resources. By the way, is it FEMA? FEDA?
Yeah.
FEMA. They
FEMA.
have, everybody who is listening, they have a link right now. They will pay for your hotel room when you evacuate. So reach out to FEMA and stay safe, everyone. Same time, same place next week. And until then, let's keep the shit real. Bye, everyone.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like and follow us on Instagram at 50 Shades of _bullshit and Facebook at 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks so much for listening, and we really hope to see you again next week.